Hello, beautiful beings. I have so many big windows. I should just show you. I have so many big windows in my tiny home. They're still kind of frosty because I just took the Reflexics off and there's nothing but ice under there after I take that off for a while. I just keep wiping the windows down so the water doesn't run down into the wall. I feel like with the humidifier, Opal, my humidifier, and the Reflexics on the windows this winter, it's so much better even than last winter. And if I'm still in my tiny home in this spot next winter, I will have a propane buddy in case the power goes out. And it's one that you can actually have in a smaller space and not get bad fumes. And let's see, what else will I do? Maybe I will put some insulation on the outside also. But of course I wouldn't just leave it like that. I would probably paint it brown, something like that or whatever. Okay, so I'm really grateful that whoever has subscribed to my channel, if you've been following me at all, getting to know myself and the ancients at all, you know that we just don't just go in a straight line. My videos aren't just about one thing. It's about whatever's up, whatever is up. And what's been up for me, for one of my favorite readers, Magnetize Yourself. 2 days ago, she said, or was it yesterday? She said, you have just ended a 10-year cycle. I was just like, oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I feel like I have, but I still I didn't feel like I had complete closure. The tears that are trying to come up right now, the overwhelming feeling that I'm having right now is one of relief and joy. It's a mixture. It's a little bit of a mixture. It's very odd. It's rare that I can't really pinpoint how I'm feeling. It just feels like so many emotions right now, but that's fine. It's all coming up, and I'm leaving this 10-year cycle in the past, because it is past now. And I've just been begging recently for closure with the twin soul journey, the lesson there. And because I just couldn't imagine working on it as diligently as I have and still not having it completely resolved. And I finally got my closure. Specifically, I've been God boxing it the last few days, on my knees, begging. Like, it's been almost constant. Just my desire to be free of it. And I've been meditating a lot also, because I know that when I want something, if I keep thinking about it, if I look straight on at a star, then it disappears. But if I look off to the side a little bit, I can see it clearly. And that's what I have to do with things that I want so desperately in my life. Like one time I was desperate to quit smoking marijuana, and I was begging, and then I was quiet for a second, and they said, you don't have to beg, it's already been removed. I was like, oh, okay, right. And it was such a good lesson, because if I keep begging, then that's what I'm attracting, is that energy. And so, yeah, ask and it is given, or beg and it is given. And so yesterday my youngest daughter called me, and she asked me what my twin soul's last name is. And I told her, and she told me that, her husband snowplows in the apartment complex where he used to be a manager at, and where I used to work also, snowplowing and fixing up the apartments when people moved out. That's what I did, and he was my boss. He was the manager there. He was the manager at a whole bunch of places, and so she said that her husband just heard that the Dan had passed away. And he did. And so for the last month or so, I've definitely been feeling a shift, and like more of a relief from the energy that I felt. Like he was so present. And about a month and a half ago, and I've been noticing that even though the thought of him comes in regularly every day, all day long, off and on during the day, there isn't as much energy. There hasn't been as much energy attached to it. And they're telling me that it's a culmination of things. One, and they want me to put this first, is they're saying it, I'll say it just the way they're saying it, I did my due diligence. I did my work to the very best of my ability. There was literally nothing else for me to heal, to look at, to whatever, to release myself from this connection that I felt was just, no matter what I've done, it still feels like it has weighed on me and been draining, because there was still, though, the one thought that I didn't feel like I could ever completely get rid of was, is he ever going to call me? Are we ever going to be together? Who knows? You never know what's going to happen on planet Earth. So I could never actually get rid of that feeling. And I just now asked them why. It's so cool. When you get to really tuned in with your guides, you'll be able to just look at the question, like just turn your attention to the question that you want to ask them without fully asking them the question, and they answer it. Yeah, anybody can do that, because it's natural for us to be able to do this, but we've just forgotten how to do it. And so what was I just saying? Yeah, so it's the work I've done, but the place that I got to in myself, which is a really beautiful place, it feels very scary and very desperate, but it feels a lot like active labor. That feels scary and desperate too. But on the other side of that, well, at least for me, was just pure undiluted joy. Holding them up to my face and feeling their breath on my face, and so it was worth all the pain. And but I couldn't go any further. That's right. I was just like, what's the point? I couldn't go any further without assistance. And so I've been begging and praying and God boxing and meditating and like basically demanding an answer, a relief from this, closure. Somehow the divine can do anything. So it didn't have to be, him contacting me. I knew that there had to be a way that I could get closure. And that's what I got yesterday. Since he has dropped his physical form, well, about a month and a half ago, I had a very intense encounter with him. I was sitting here and he was coming in so clearly, and I didn't feel any resistance towards him at all. I didn't feel like he was taking from me. It just felt very, very pure, very undiluted. And I said, and I was laughing, and I said, wow, you've either had a major shift here on planet Earth, or you have dropped your physical form, my friend. Because the communication, I had to put a pretty fast, something had shifted. And because I could hear him, I even journaled about it. I could hear him so audibly. I'm not used to hearing spirit audibly. That's what it was. They're saying so clearly. It frightened me. It really frightened me, because we were communicating. I was thinking telepathically. We've been doing that for a really long time now, but not like this. Since he has dropped his physical form. But so it really scared me, and I said, yeah, this is really cool because it feels different, and different definitely feels good in this case. But I don't know, because I've practiced for a lot of years to set boundaries with spirit. And this is like the mother lode of spirits for me right now, because he's my twin soul. And I need him more on the sidelines. I can't have him like an earpiece in my ear. I told him I will not be channeling you like Elaine Thorpe channels her twin soul. I won't. I'm open, because I heard myself say absolutely not, And I've been saying that since yesterday. I've just, no way. I'm not channeling. No, I'm already channeling the ancients. I don't need to channel my twin soul also in the way like trance channeling where he takes over. Yeah, I'm willing to do whatever. But I don't, I've given him so much of my time that I don't have any desire to like work with him in spirit right now. If it happens someday, that's great. But I don't want to continue, thinking about him and wondering if he's gonna contact me. I don't have to do that anymore. It's over. This lesson is over. It's been almost 10 years since we met on the physical plane, and I did have some anger yesterday because he never. Yeah, he didn't contact me. These tears are because I'm relieved, but I definitely, I've been having feelings of feeling foolish and like embarrassed. But I mean, the ancients are just like, are you kidding me? Like, this man has been in your energy for almost 10 years. How do you deal with that? Like, people, like regular people, whoever they are, they're not going through the life lessons like I am. They're going through their own life lessons, so I can't expect people to understand what I've been going through. But something that is just deeply touching is how my Mother Ocean and all three of my daughters and Moonstar 100% validate me. They know. It took a while for everybody to understand. I mean, it's been a rough ride. Because if somebody that you love is going through something, it can be very wearing. It can be very wearing. Like I used to be I'd be in a really bad relationship. Not like physically abusive, but a rocky relationship, and talking to my, friends and family about it. And that can be very wearing on them. So I have had talks with my family about it. I'm just like, I can't even imagine how tired you are of hearing about this. And of course, not once did they ever say, yeah, no shit. Just get over him. They knew it was something different than just like a regular, you break up with somebody. That can definitely take a long time, but this was definitely different. He remained in my energy, and it remained unresolved. And I can't even tell you the depth of gratitude I have right now for resolution. And he has come in. I was doing dishes last night, and I asked him, why didn't you contact me at least one time? Just one conversation. Just one. And I know why. Like, so I'm getting them in stereo right now, and I usually don't get anything on the left, but of course he's coming in on the left. That's very interesting. I had a dream about him, and he was on my left also. And he said, "How's my wife doing?" So the ancients are saying that he never called me, and I know this. I forget though. We do that because in the big picture, I needed him not to call me. That's exactly what my twin soul would do for me for my highest evolution. Because him not contacting me and me not getting closure in that way forced me to heal whatever was coming up by not getting that closure in that way. So I'm beyond. See how there's just no straight line with these emotions today, because there's just so much gratitude, and I am also very deeply grateful that he's not suffering anymore, because lung cancer, I'm sure that was, he's saying that he was already starting to pay his karmic debts here on planet Earth. Yeah, my dad was too. Same thing, the breathing thing. Our lungs represent the breathing in and taking in of life. And if somebody like Dan, I can just say his name freely now, Dan was in a lot of fear, and he smoked for a really, really long time too. And every cigarette was cramming down how he was really feeling, cramming down his truth. And I feel that he did the very best he could. He was married, he was with somebody that he really, really loved. And it was set up like that so I could grow. I mean, it's everybody else is growing also in their own way. But in my life, it was all set up to where my twin soul would be with somebody that he really loved, so he wouldn't leave her for me. So that would trigger in me the pain that I needed to heal. You know, abandonment, rejection, like, you know, really things that we all go through in every lifetime. And this hasn't just been healing from this lifetime and just this situation. My twin soul was my presenter for this, and so has the last 10 years has accelerated my ascension. They're saying without getting the bends. Yeah. I feel I have had the bends at times, though, you guys. This ascension can be downright terrifying. So, you were saying, okay, so my twin soul, I asked my twin soul last night, why didn't you ever call me? Like, what was your reason? And shame. Shame. Literally, I literally saw him. He said, I was too ashamed. And he just hung his head. Because, and he's interjecting, because the more, yeah, I'm very weirded out by having a message coming through from him right now. This is extremely new for me, and I have a lot of resistance to it. He's saying that the longer, you know, it's so weird though, isn't it a paradox? Because I have resistance to it, but I'm relieved also because we've always been together. That's why it feels so abnormal to not be together on the earth plane, is because we're twin souls. You know, we're always together. And so it's just the most natural thing in the world to be together in the physical also. So he's saying that the ancients are saying that this is a blessing. Don't be afraid of it. And that they won't ever give me more than I can handle, for sure, of course. He's saying that the longer he waited to contact me, just the worse it got. The more, because thinking about it every single day, every day, thinking about it, just, you know, weighing the options back and forth, just so crazy making. And the longer he went, well, because he wasn't ultimately supposed to either be with me in this lifetime in the physical. But his whole process, what it was triggering in him to come up to heal, to shine his light of awareness on, he did not want to abandon her. And he is such a good being that I knew that also. I knew that he was such a good person that he was never going to hurt her like that. And also I knew that he loved her because he told me he loved her. And then he would say, why didn't I meet you 20 years ago? That's how long he had been married when we met. And anyway, so yeah, I understand that. I totally get it. And for me, it's the most important thing that I could ever possibly do. The most important thing is to ask and it is given is a life-changing, life-saving book. If you use it, there's literally instructions from going from complete, total hopelessness stuck in my head, like a guide in there from Abraham Hicks, how to go down the emotional scale from specifically negatively focused to generally negatively focused to positively generally focused too specifically positively focused. When I saw that, I was just sobbing. I was just like, it felt like, it felt like it was going to take the rest of my life to learn that. And also I was crying because I wanted it so desperately bad. Yeah, because I didn't know how to get out of my head. I had no idea. And I mean, that is ask and it is given. Okay, what were we saying when that book came in? It is imperative for me, if I'm feeling emotionally charged, even if I feel too happy, because there's a down from that, I need to see the bigger picture. Zoom out. That's what our guides are so beautiful. My guides, the ancients, are so beautiful at immediately. It feels like it feels like they fly me up there with them too, like to the big picture, so I can see. I can have the overview, and they just show it to me so quickly. So, what a gift. It's so interesting. I always watch my videos at least once before I upload them. Well, as it's uploading, to make sure you can hear it or whatever. And I notice that a lot of times a deep breath comes right when I'm done. And they're showing me this little hourglass with the sand in the top, and it's almost all the way run out. And that shows me that we are done. If you are going through the twin flame lesson, because it's if you sign up for that masterclass of going on the twin flame journey, then you may feel you need some guidance, and we would love to help you with that. I believe we could, because we've been practicing this for almost 10 years, and I finally have resolution, and it's really, really important for me, it has been imperative to work on having resolution myself, and work on not focusing on my resolution coming from an outside source. Yeah. Because I've been very, very happy. Even though this has still been on me, I have been incredibly happy. I've been feeling incredibly peaceful. I had a shift a couple months, almost 2 months ago now, to where life just, I've been knocking on wood though when I say it. I'm not saying it too much. No, I'm not saying that. But things feel a lot more effortless than they have. And that has a lot to do with not having him in his physical form constantly thinking about me. The energy, connection is severed. Wow. Severed on the earth plane. Yeah. Okay. That sounded very severe. But it's just the earth plane, to where it's not possible to be drained by it anymore. And he wasn't meaning to drain me, and I wasn't meaning to drain him if I was at all. Yeah. So he's not suffering. Yeah, and when he came in yesterday, and even now too, he's much younger. I didn't know him when he was much younger. He was 54 when I met him, but handsome as hell. 6'5", so good looking. Yeah, we were the same good looking. Yeah, isn't that interesting when you run into a soulmate or your twin soul? Just like a really good mate, you're the same. You look the same in a way. Well, with the twin soul, of course we do. I'm sure there are situations where they don't, but our essence is so much alike. We were so much alike. It was very, very interesting. But as my oldest daughter said yesterday, we spent time together yesterday. It seems like we usually always spend time together during a rebirth. And it's not even, we don't even orchestrate it, but the divine does. What were we just saying? Ancients, what were we just saying? It felt important. Yes. So she said, I almost just said her name. She said Well, just because he has dropped his physical form doesn't mean he has to take up any more of your time. What did she say? Your attention doesn't mean that you have to give him any more of your attention. That's right. I'm like, you're absolutely right. And I have just been really scared that it would shift from the pull on planet Earth that I was getting from him to like a spirit not leaving me alone. No, but I've been talking to them about that for a long time. After I found out that he had lung cancer last summer, I started talking to them about that. The ancients, the divine, whoever would listen. Do not let him know. Please help me set boundaries with him if he drops his physical form. When he does, if he does, don't. No, I have to have firm boundaries. He can't just be, coming into my house uninvited. So, and he loves me unconditionally, and he would never want to do anything, and he never did want to do anything to hurt me. So he absolutely, and her point too, also yesterday, my oldest daughter, she said, well, I've heard that when people leave the earth plane, and just because they don't have a physical form doesn't make them a better being or a better person. And I said, you're absolutely right. I agree with that. However, in this case, he was never a bad person, and he was never maliciously ever trying to hurt me in any way. He loves me unconditionally. He loves me so much, and that's one thing that I can feel now, more than I could before. So that's always good. More love. That's always good. And Sam, he was the first spirit guide that ever made contact with me. I had a beautiful friend, Andrea. I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep looking away. I think I just feel a little vulnerable when I'm crying, and so I don't make eye contact. Even though I'm not looking you directly in the eyes, I feel like I am. So, Andrea is the first one that taught me about spirit guides, and that that we all have them and we could actually hear them. And I was just like, oh, I would give anything to be able to hear my guides. And she started teaching me about meditation and like how to hear them. And it may feel like you're making it up at first, and all this stuff. But Sam came through. I actually had a dream about him, and it was profound. He's a Native American man, and beautiful, and just so familiar feeling. And he hasn't come in for a really like over 20 years, and he's been coming in recently. Yeah, so that's been really, really nice. His energy is very, very soothing. I think that's it for now. Is that it for now, ancients? If you are, well, school, we're in school. Life is school. So whatever lesson you are in right now, if you feel that you need some help, if you need some light in that dark hallway, yeah, we would love to talk to you. See what the ancients have to say. Satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. Yeah, prayers always get answered. We don't have to be religious to pray. There are lots of different ways that I give anything I feel troubled about to the divine, to whatever's breathing me and beating my heart. I love you so much.